Hi everyone, welcome back to Alex Siberia's YouTube channel. My name is Emily and in today's video I'm gonna create 2 Valentine's cards featuring the heartfelt blooms. You can see there is hot foiling plates, coordinating dies and stencils available for this stamp set. I will be trying to copy this pattern paper. You can see the teal green flowers as well as the yellow and pink leaves. So I thought that was pretty, and that is from Create Paper, I believe. It's an older Maggie Holmes, also I believe it's an older Maggie Holmes paper, and I just love how the colors was, so I was inspired and wanted to create something similar. You can see here I'm taking the Heartfelt Blooms stamp and I am positioning it so I will create my own pattern paper. You can see I had some plastic there that is just from the stamp set itself. I'm laying that down so I don't need to clean my stamp over and over again. When I'm doing this, you can see I need to move my paper just to get that perfect impressions. I'm using Memento black ink. That is a Copic friendly ink. I will not be coloring in this with Copics. I will be using the stencils, but if I would like, this is a nice ink. And I'm double stamping it just to get that perfect black impression. You can see here I'm just going around creating my pattern. I will also, off camera, I might show it, I will also stamp this flower 2 times just as they are. And for my second card I will create with that. And when I was done with today's project, I will actually have a second panel that I wanted to create something with, but I didn't have time before I needed to upload this video. For my last bit here, I'm just taking a large acrylic block just to press that last bit of stamp. It was easier than just fiddling around with my MISTI. So here you can see I have my first stencil layer, and I will only use inks from Concord and Ninth. You can see I'm using this beautiful Aqua Sky, I think it's called. It's one of my favorites, and it's this very light blue color. And you can see that I chose the aqua colors, and I will show you later on when I am showing you the pattern paper and the inks I probably should have used if I wanted to get the exact same green shade for my leaves, but I didn't for my projects, and this turned out nice. I love the color combinations. If I would have done this again, I probably would go with a more green teal color, if that makes sense, and as I said, I will show that to you. But now let's look at how I inked all of these up. You can see I have some tape to one of the sides just to hold it in place, and also if I would go outside my stencil, I have something to catch that ink. The second layer I went in a little bit heavier with, and now comes the part here where I'm masking off 2 of the leaves. And if I hadn't done this, I wouldn't have two colored leaves. I would just have them in the same color. So this is the reason why I did this. And I also want to say this is why it takes a little bit longer to create this card. If I just have colored all the leaves at once, it had taken no time at all. But this is the reason why it takes a little bit longer, since I need to go in with all of these stencils twice to get it filled in, and also to figure out where all of my leaves are. So now I'm masked off the second bit instead, and you can see I'm going in with a pink color just to tie all of this together. So I have the pink and yellow leaves, and I'm having a really soft hand when I'm doing this. And yeah, I think it's Pink Lemonade I'm using here from Concord and Ninth. You can see I'm just using that scrap piece of paper also to catch the ink, so I don't have inks all over my black mat here. It's just helpful not to need to clean everything all the time. So you can see how that looks, and now it's the second layer. I have masked off the pink areas again, and only using the yellow colors here. And I've chosen one slightly darker ink, and also letting these rest a little bit before I'm going in with the next color of ink makes the ink dry. And when it's dry, when I'm putting on more ink, it will be a more crisp inking, if that makes sense. Because if I'm going in wet on wet, there will be a really smooth transition over the colors. And that, you could love that. I love that sometimes, but if you want that really hard impression, this is nicer. And you can really see, especially here on the pink leaves, how they are contrasting with each other, and it gives these leaves so much depth and dimension. Just love it. You can see I'm just rotating my stencil, getting inks all over the panel, and you can see it goes pretty quick to figure out which sleeve I am going to ink up. And I sped this up a couple of times, of course, so you didn't have to see me do this too much. But here you can see I did go with a more blue color. If I had went more with the green one, you can see it had more matched my pattern paper that I was trying to mimic. So if I would do this again, I will probably be a little bit more carefully look at the colors before I'm doing this. I just looked at the pattern paper, was inspired by the pink and the pink leaves, and then I went for it. Here is an hot foiling plate. I spritzed the backside so I didn't mess up our coloring, and then I went through my die cutting machine and did a dry embossing. You can see all the tiny hearts here. I also splattered it with black before I did this. Hope the camera is picking up how this is looking. I like the subtle texture, but I wanted something more, so I actually went in and hot foiled it as well. So I just lined my die up with the impression that we've done. So we got this deep embossing with the beautiful hearts on top. You can see the embossing better on the back side, but that is really pretty. I hope the camera is catching it, and it also softens this panel down. For my background, I cut the postage stamps cover plate, and I will cover pretty much everything up here with my panel, but it's okay. I just wanted something soft in the background so that our panel really could stand out. I tried to find a matching cardstock in my stash. This is also from Concord at Night, I believe. It's just this pink cardstock. I created a second panel with the aura hot foil, and the other one was the matte gold. So I had a matte gold for the first with the hearts, and the second one I had aura, so I get some more texture. And here are separate flowers. I will line them up something like this, and then they will be super pretty. And you can see to save some space, I also cut my flower because I know I would cover up a lot, and I thought I could use that last flower for something else. So that is something I just wanted to mention. My glue gun was clogged, so I needed to fix that off camera, and then I raised off my flowers when I had pressed everything down. I am having foam squares here to the back of my panel, and I'm just lining this off. You can see I'm covering a little bit of the other panel. It's okay. I needed to do that to make everything look nice. Here is 2 hearts from the Quilted Hearts die, and I cut the smaller one to get an opening so I could intertwine them or lock them together. And I'm using some foam tape, of course, just to make this really pretty. And then I have my love sentiment on top. I will actually, I think, end up switching this love for the one with the vellum, just because I thought this looked a little bit too pink on pink. I hope that makes sense. For my second panel here, you will see that I am using that postage die, and I'm just covering a lot of this up, but I have this beautiful yellow color in the background. And this also helps with the warping of my panel, since I had done that wet technique on the back when I run it through my machine. You can see here I have the love. It's perfect. I cut this flower out thinking that I might use it. Ended up not doing that. Cut a second heart, a pink one, just to contrast with this so it stands out a little bit more. You can see I switched my sentiment, and I also have a bow. So you can see this bow is super cute. You will see the flower sets that it comes with. By the way, all of the products that I'm using in this video will be linked down below if you're interested in checking them out. And yeah, you can see here it looks so nice. I love the cardstock that match with our pink leaves in the background. You can see here I'm pointing to where the bow comes from. I'm trying to center this up to the best of my ability. Of course, it's some foam squares to the back. Just to get some dimension, and our 2 projects are finished. I hope you enjoyed this video and got inspired to create some Valentine's card using products that you might have in your stash. Look at them and see what you can figure out. Until next time, have a great day. Bye!